Well, this is pretty much my first time doing this, or, well, shouldn't say first time, but this is going to be my first just a little stroll and talk kind of thing. And just showing you guys what it's like at night around here. If you guys like these kind of videos, let me know so I can, take you guys on a bit of a nice walk, and you guys can just listen to the nice background and enjoy the night scenery here, Man. The air smells really nice. It's a little damp, as you can probably see. It hasn't really been all that sunny. Got some clouds up ahead. Not really sure what to expect. There's not really much to see with that. But anywho, well, yeah, sometimes I just take walks out here, and sometimes it's just for me to relax. Sometimes it's just, just a little something for me to do at night, instead of just sitting and rotting. Some nice fresh air while I still can, and all that. This is probably not the best quality kind of thing here, especially since all you can see is probably just like the sidewalk and stuff. But as you can see, I have the light on, so unfortunately I can't really face it upwards, otherwise it would be in somebody's face, and I don't really think they would appreciate that. Anyways, so yeah, this is pretty much where I usually walk down to the pond area. I'll take you guys there. Just give you, it's like a little nice thing on what it's like. Just take a little bit of a stroll at night, which, if at this kind of weather, I find rather calming. It's a little windy. It's not really that windy. But, yeah. Sometimes, my nephews would come by, and we would feed the ducks in the pond area. Granted, it's probably not like the best thing for them to eat, but which is bread, but well, that bread has to go somewhere, I guess. Probably not the best thing for birds at all. Maybe we should switch to peas, maybe. I guess that's the only way how to actually do that. Anyways, so yeah, that'll probably be a mental note for maybe the next time we feed the ducks or whatever. I also always bring a bottle of water with me, just in case if I get thirsty, obviously. It is still cold enough to wear a jacket, but it doesn't really bother, but I have them rolled up at the moment, so yeah. drinking all of that water. Yeah. But yeah, this is essentially what it's like at night. It's a nice scenery, nice little stroll, all that stuff. I also will have to take note and apologize for, not really posting anything much. I kind of just been up and down recently. Like, sometimes it depends on the day. Like, some days I'm very stressed out to the point where I'm just very depressed, and I just kind of have like these doubts and all that stuff, and yeah, it just kind of comes and goes. I know it's not exactly something that, one person could ever fully understand. But, the thing about this kind of stuff is, that kind of stuff is like, nobody will truly know what's going on in your head. Even if you say something, even if, if you say what the problem is and all that stuff, there's no solution. They just understand where you're coming from. That's about it. In my case, a lot of it has to do with like all the stuff I've been dealing with, and me just kind of, feel like I'm in the middle of everything as far as family is concerned. Because truth be told, my nephews are my stepsisters, but, we get along like brother and sister, so, step or not, she's still a sister. God bless her soul, though. And she's so nice, but yeah, it's just there's not really much one can do for her right now. Like, well, I won't get into details on it because it's more of a personal kind of thing. Always check both ways before you cross. Don't forget that. But let's just say that she's dealing with stuff, and like I said, God bless her. She's always very positive about it. And me, I kind of just go back and forth. Not really sure what that's all about. Anyways, yeah, there's the highway there, as you can probably guess. Well, I guess maybe... Is it the highway? I can't remember. But anyways, actually, yeah, that's the highway. Anyways, so yeah, we're approaching our destination right here. Takes us a good 10 minutes to get here. Oh, hold on. I'm not sure if you can see them, but there's ducks right there. Ooh. Not sure if you can see them, but they're right there. Alright. What I like to do is just go over here and just take a little seat right here. Just enjoy the view here for a bit. Take a gander on what all is going on here. But yeah, there are a few videos I do plan on doing, as I said before. Excuse me. But, yeah. Kind of just been trying to find the motivation to do them, you know? It seems no matter what I do, it just always escapes me somehow. Like, I have a screenplay going on and all that stuff, and suddenly all that stuff comes to a halt, and I don't know, it just seems like that there's not much to do with, not much I can do about that. But I guess the only way to truly do anything about it is if I were to be disciplined. Alright, I think that's enough. Time to head back. But yeah, just, this is just a little something I might do daily. You know, just a little something, give like a, sort of like a report on how the day was and all that kind of stuff. The night stroll, the something, I don't know. But, yeah. I have tinkered with other instruments, mainly drums and keyboards, but I can only do sampling on keyboards, and, well, I'd say if I were to name my next best instrument, it would probably be drums. Vocals, I see, can probably hear from the tracks from the 2 songs I did. I guess I'm not really that much of a good singer, in all honesty. Heck, if anything, I'd probably be a best death growler, but better as a death growler, excuse me. But even with that said, death metal music's not really my thing. Granted, some of them do have like some good elements to them. For instance, like the progressive rock kind of bands where they have like, well, maybe progressive metal. I'm not entirely sure how to put it, but Yeah, the kind of the only time I can actually tolerate death growls is if it were to be switched out with like some clean vocals every now and then or something like that, depending. And of course, like to me, that's actually a best way to. Those are the best death metal songs for me, in my opinion. And especially ones with keyboards, of course. But yeah, it's not exactly like one of those. I know it's not a popular opinion, and even some metalheads will probably like roll their eyes at me and be all like, you're not a true music fan or whatever. But you know, I'm over the map. You know, and but if I were to say where I'm really grounded at, I would say my general choice would probably be somewhere between Styx and Pink Floyd. Those two are the only bands I can think of that I actually can get really attached to without, like, having some exceptions. Because I looked through their albums and haven't really found a single one that I actually truly disliked. Excuse me. But I will say that, between Styx and Pink Floyd definitely has the more interesting story to tell. You can tell. But I'll be honest, the Endless River, while I do see why they did it, and in all honesty, it is probably like, well, how would I put this? I'll just cross. Well, yeah, I'll just continue on. But yeah, if I were to say anything about it, I would say that it would feel more of a conclusion if Roger Waters actually took part in the Endless River. That way, you had like the four members together one last time instead of the brief reunion with the last two surviving members, Nick Mason and David Gilmour. David Gilmour, he's fantastic on the guitar. Honestly, my dad kind of took inspiration from him a little bit. Funny story about my dad being into Pink Floyd is that he at first didn't want anything to do with them because of them being all, because he saw them as more about drugs and all that stuff. But Pink Floyd's one of those bands when we look into it, they have a story to tell. And it's like very real, grounded, and it's not one of those pop songs where it's all about like, Girl, You Broke My Heart or something like that. And yeah, it's like a real, like there's real struggles that went on with the band. And of course the tragedy that one of Pink Floyd's members, Sid Barrett, went through when he took on acid and kind of lost his mind, which is a tragedy. But it's what happened to some musicians back then, and honestly, I think it still happens today. Maybe not as often, but it still happens. But I do kind of miss But it did seem like bands were the huge thing back then. You know, I could be wrong about this, but it's like bands were the thing back in like 70s, 60s, probably 50s even. But then again, solo artist has always been a thing too, so I guess anything goes. Hold on, car's coming. Don't want to shine this in their face. Anyways, yeah, that's about it. And I have to say, like, out of all the band members, Roger Waters definitely had a story to tell. Like, you can tell by his lyrics, he definitely has a story to tell, no matter how you look at it. To be fair, though, while his lyrics were and storytelling is indeed like what made Pink Floyd good, the only thing that I could think of is like, when Roger Waters did The Wall, I mean, that was a fantastic concept. It really was. And of course, he was the bass, Nick Mason was the drums, and Richard Wright was the keyboards. Sid Barrett being the only other guitarist. But I do find it interesting how Set the Controls to Heart of the Sun was the only track that they made in a studio that had all 5 members contribute to it. And yet it doesn't really sound like all 5 members contributed. But I guess anything goes, really. To be fair, though, Saucer for Secrets was a transitional period where Sid Barrett was falling out and David Gilmour was coming in. So a brief time there was 5 members. But short-lived. But I guess you can imagine I have more stories to have more interest in Pink Floyd than I do with Styx. But yeah, maybe we'll take I'll like do these a little more often daily. So yeah, well, this is it for now. Sorry about that. Well, guess that's it for now. I'll try to, and this is something I'll probably do daily, so at least it'll, have me post something still on a daily basis. But oh, there's an ambulance. Alright, well, guess I better call it a video then. You all have a good day, and I'll see you all. You all have a good day tomorrow. Sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video.